because this is final showcase of work that is still in progress. Yeah, yeah, I'm still trying to tweak something. Actually, this morning I was working on my instructor portion here. I realized I didn't have that. Trying to do a little bit of the self-evaluation. Realized I haven't said anything to my students about myself. I was so into creating the content until I saw that particular standard on QM. Yeah, like that. Anyway, so what I have on the start here is video overview or voice thread overview. And the reason why I say this is still work in progress, when we discussed with Laura last week, I realized I needed to add in a few things or tweak it a little bit. So I told her, I will do the whole thing over again. Yeah, so what is here is eventually going to place by recording. But given the purpose and the course structure, kind of when the students start here, the first image is they want to know how is the whole course structured. I've indicated how many chapters, how many modules are there, and what activities they're doing, the worksheet, discussion board, and online quizzes. Just happened to be doing this morning. I don't know how many of you have looked at the Illum, and I thought, well, I don't want to keep bubbling here all the way about myself and say, oh, you know, some things you may never know about me, but you read the Illum. Right. Yeah, find it there. So I'm glad it showed up here. The only thing I was struggling with, I was hoping this particular line come right after here. Yeah, so you know how you go in and start up an item and then you attach. So it attached to the top and not the bottom. So to figure that out. Last time I was here, when you talked about how to do the publisher link, yeah, I could remember, and I asked Laura, do you remember what we all talked about there? So pleased that I learned that here. That's my start feature. We have an announcement here, the calendar and the syllabus, this section, and I also have it here so that they can have it to display. My calendar is highlighted, it's arranged by weeks. Oh, this is syllabus. I plan to be doing online meetings with students via Zoom or PowerPoint. That's another feature I learned by just working with you guys on this. Has all this. I'm not supposed to go the whole thing. You may wonder, why is this marked storage? The course is going on now, but the instructor that facilitates that class is an adjunct instructor. And I usually responsible for coordinating this course. We have an online course and a screen course. I mean, an online course and an in-class course. So I teach the in-class and cannot develop material for both of them. Okay. So what I've been doing is working ahead of her in terms of weeks, and I work from my storage site and then I copy over to her. So we have 8 modules. They are arranged by date, so the students know that the modules are sequential. Once one expires, the other one opens up. And on each of the modules, we have a to-do list for everything that they need to do within that period when the module is open. We also have the introductory lecture here for the first one. Again, if you're like, oh, what is it that I'm supposed to do? The introductory lecture is right here again. Each module has the module objectives, and the first part of it, or the overview, really describes exactly what that module has. Most of the other modules only have 2 chapters, but this first one has 3 chapters. So it highlights that. And also trying to make it easy for them to really figure out what is it they're learning and how does it connect with the whole course objective. Of course, has that. Nice. They have that, and they have these first few weeks of the mod 1, they do this assignment, call it the data assignment. This is where they really need to understand what is
Laura's with us.
Oh,
Hi, Laura.
Hi. Sorry, I'm
hello. Are you listening?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Feel free to chime in if I make a mistake somewhere.
Oh, no, there's no mistakes here.
Okay. Yeah. With online students, sometimes the first time they have this experience of taking an online class and they don't pay attention to all the policies. So the student data assignment is really an assignment on making sure that they read the syllabus, the quiz. They read that and they take the quiz. Simple questions such as, where do you go? What do you need to do the online class? Things they're supposed to remember. Yes, one. Tell us about yourself is where they introduce themselves, form of a journal, open up a discussion, and everybody posts their responses based on a small probe or assignment they had. Tell us about yourself. What is your major? Why are you in, what you hope to get in the class? And they also like to share, a lot of them, I realize they like to share a little bit about their pets, where they are from, yeah, things like that. So by the time they get all that done, everybody kind of pretty much go class. So this course is also going to have worksheet assignments. It's simply just activities or assignments associated with the content of that module. And the whole module ends with a quiz. Because there are 8 different modules, they have a quiz for every time they're on the module. So that's the layout of each of the modules. Because the last one does not have the quiz, but the final exam. You have the final exam for the last one. Like you see, it has the same layout to release the module overview chapter. Oh, the other thing is each of the module also has the lectures, this folder. The last one happens to be a bigger, cover more content, more in. In fact, it was the last one. We need to cover it all together. Now, each of these folders has a study guide material, and then the VoiceThread presentations or the video recordings are all broken down by concept. Initially, I was doing the whole thing. And there are times when the system or the network would drop my recording and then I had to start all over again. So that was a learning process. And I'm still going to go back to the very first 2 modules, I believe is what, 2 or 3 modules, and try to break the whole thing out like this. And I find it easier because not when they know exactly what material they want to listen to and over, they simply can come here and plug in instead of trying to locate or track it one long recording or lecture. So study guide, the slides for each section, of course, VoiceThread located. And that's the pattern for all of the modules. Now, some modules have discussion board and worksheets. So we have several worksheets. Some of them have discussion. Here again is a set of the VoiceThread lectures. You can cite one of them. run the same layout. Okay. Yes. Life cycle project is the very last project they do. This is where they synthesize everything they've learned out of all those materials. They do this by actually working with somebody that they have access to, either a family member or friend is with the case study. Yes, so the course looks at nutrition needs and problems that occur at different life stages, from before pregnancy all the way to today. So they like to work with their grandmothers, find out what they're eating, what their health conditions are, and how they can help with make some changes in nutrition based on that. That's what it's all about.
We cover a lot of
Yeah, we do.
a lot of material, yeah.
Right, yeah. And it's, in the past, I've always struggled with the fact that 19 chapters is a lot of material, but to really get a good grasp of what life cycle issues are in each different stage of life cycle, you got to cover the thing.
Is it a whole semester?
Yeah,
Oh.
the whole semester. Yeah. They really appreciate it after that. What else we talk about? Laura?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. One thing I'm still yet to figure out how to do is when I was doing the Meet the Instructor here, I figured I need to have a button maybe at the top where they can simply click and find my email address, my contact. In the shell, we usually have one that opens up and allows you to put in there, but we reconfigure this at So Laura, that's one thing I want you to help me with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, figuring that out.
Yeah, we can put in the star here, too.
We can do it?
We can put in the star here, but yeah, we can add a tab on the left and
Okay.
add the contact information. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mm.
Regarding the voice thread, I also really like the feature inside the voice thread of the pencils or the pointers, because I was demonstrating how to plot on the growth charts for the children. That became very handy. Yeah. Before that, before Laura pointed out to me, I always did when I did the very first part of the voice thread, I was simply using my mouse cursor to point out, then realize that, yeah, it doesn't really capture it. The coding doesn't show that. You have to use the pen, highlight to show that. That was pretty good. So I've done all the 19 chapter recordings. They're done. And last week, I attempted to do some self-evaluation on the QM standards. That's where I found out that I needed to get my Meet the Instructor kind of information and also the contact information thing. The other thing is what? I haven't gone back to really look. I know the publisher material has videos that I can also use to integrate there. I need to go back and look at that. Reflecting on the list. For me, it's more than 12. I think it's 24 weeks. As I said, the last 4. How has my perception on online teaching changed? It has made me so much more sensitive to being the student looking at the online content. Before that, I just used to think it's the same thing as just standing in front of the class and telling people, this is what you need to do. The student just looks at what is before them. And I now have come to really identify with that much more. I guess because of the QM standards and so a lot of the things that Laura would point out to say, oh, you need to describe here what this is that you put here. When they see this, how are they going to interpret or really understand what it is? So that has made me much better online instructor in being more sensitive or more aware of what it takes to be a student. Just get a computer and try to do an online course without not having anybody explain what's going on. What else? I'm also allowed me to be very proficient. This is the first time I worked with VoiceThread. I've never worked with it before. I used to be aware that there's such a thing, but of course, until it's almost like being pushed off of the cliff. You decide, okay, I'm going to jump, but somebody needs to push me. And so working with Laura, she really helped me learn a lot of things about voice, rearranging the course in a different way that makes it so much easier for the students to navigate. So, yeah. Final thoughts about course and this has been a great experience for me. Of course, teaching springtime, I'm teaching all my other 4 courses and working days on the side. Yeah, but I knew it was gonna pay off at the end because I teach the in-class in the fall. What Laura suggested I could do is have the students actually look at the lecture material or assignment, sort of use some of the sections or some of the modules as flip format and get the input of the students, how they are perceiving the online. So I'm going to try to do that in fall. My chair has also been very curious to know what I've been learning in this program. So she's already assigned me to spearhead the improvement of one of the introductory courses that teach all over. We have all of us teach that, plus adjunct professors that teach that. So it's usually a very highly enrolled class. And it happened to be one of the courses that was mentioned for, what do you call it, the partnership courses. So we may end up having more students needing it. So that will be my next project after I get some feedback from my in-class students in the fall about how I did with online class today. And for every other course, I really want to apply the same thing I learned here. I realize that my online courses have a lot of room to improve. So I'm going to use a lot of the stuff I learned here to for navigation and development and everything about it. Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.